Before we get the topic started, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far, even those who are new to the channel and hop on for a few moments. I'm still learning this whole YouTube thing, but your support helps me to stay dedicated to making more videos. Now this video will contain spoilers, so just a heads up. Without wasting more time, let's get things started. Nico Robin is the last survivor of Ohara, arguably the most important character in the show and personally the best written character in One Piece. Yes, I do believe that Robin is the best and not Sanji, mostly because Sanji has this weird creepy gag going on. I mean, come on, if you're saying that Sanji is your favorite character, then you're really not far off from saying Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter is your favorite character. So yeah, that's weird. Robin is the most important piece for Luffy to achieve his goal. Her moments with the crew are so heartwarming, giving us a smile at every chance she gets and giving us some funny moments, such as using her dark humor and sarcasm to scare Usopp. But things weren't always like this for our treasured archaeologist, as she had to go through a lot for her to show herself to the people she now considers her family. After the events that took place in the Ohara incident, Robin had to survive on her own. Now the Ohara incident is arguably the most traumatic event in One Piece, next to the extermination of Flevans. Losing her mother and all the friends she made with the archaeologists and the person who taught her how to love, Robin had to survive about 2 whole decades fending for herself. Now, I know that Jaguar has been confirmed alive due to recent chapters, but she had to live thinking she was alone until she met the Straw Hats, and even then, she believed that she was worthless and didn't deserve to live or be loved. This is why I think she had it worse than Sanji, and why I believe her character growth is one of the best I've ever read. See, unlike Sanji, when Robin lost her home, she had nobody to turn to, and the one family that did take her in ended up selling her out anyway. Sanji luckily found Zeph, who taught him basically everything he knows about love and respect, whereas Robin lost that all in one single day. And it's not like Sanji didn't have love from a young age. He actually had a mother who cared for him, and also his sister Reiju. Unlike Sanji, Robin's mother was never present in her life, as she went off to sea when Robin was still young, and she doesn't even know her own father. She was isolated from the very beginning, and she couldn't make any friends because they were afraid of her abilities, as they were seen as a curse, suffering from being alone even when she is surrounded by people. She soon meets Jaguar, who became her friend, and Professor Clover, her mentor at the library, but she soon loses that quickly as the world government wipes out the entire island for studying poneglyphs, which was against the law. After being saved by a marine who took part in the destruction of Ohara, Robin set out to sea and became an assassin, as this was her only way to survive because she didn't trust any crew that she allied herself with. She used all the crews she joined to complete the mission of uncovering the secrets of the world, a mission her fellow mentor and mother started years before she became an archaeologist. But things started to change for her in Alabasta after Luffy saved her life, even though she is assisting the antagonist of the arc, Crocodile. Now I say changed, but things weren't really that different. She only joined the crew because of her interest in Luffy and the D-Clan, and also it could help her uncover more secrets, as Luffy is one lucky guy and always finds himself at the right places and at the right time. But despite her reasons for joining, this one decision to be a part of the crew is what changes her life completely and for the better. Robin joins the crew and they set sail for Jaya, which leads them to go into the Sky Island. But she wasn't truly one of the Straw Hats. She was a very reserved character, always sitting by herself and reading. And this was something very different, something that we weren't accustomed with when it came to the mischievous pirate crew. A further showing of her not being considered a Straw Hat is how Zoro treated her. Zoro had some doubts. I mean, why would an enemy decide to join the crew? And someone with a terrible record of betraying every single person that she allies herself with. And even during Skypiea, she didn't show the same desire as the rest of the crew to ensure that Luffy beats Enel. Her sole purpose there was to uncover the secrets of Shendora and the poneglyph. But as we leave Skypiea, we see glimpses of her slowly adjusting. Then we head to Long Ring Island, where everything starts changing for her. The life she thought she could have starts to crumble away once again as she meets Aokiji, the man who saved her life, but is also responsible for the deaths of those on Ohara. See, meeting Aokiji made her realize that no matter how many times she runs away and hides, she can never outrun her dark past. Aokiji tells the rest of the crew about Robin and they react to the news as they normally would, not being swayed by Aokiji's words that Robin will sooner or later betray them as she is a demon child. But Luffy doesn't care about any of that, as he is very accepting of Robin and challenges Aokiji. But the fight ends in an instant as Aokiji is just too powerful. Aokiji lets them go as he believes that no matter what, they will see and experience this betrayal and pain for themselves. Despite the crew accepting Robin and past. She wasn't able to accept herself, and this is where most of her problems come from. You can see Oda further personify this by having her take multiple identities as an assassin. Yes, this was to protect herself, but Oda did this to emphasize the fact that Robin doesn't know who she is, so she takes on these personalities to infiltrate organizations. For example, the personality she took as Miss All Sunday. So we are shown that Robin has a form of an identity crisis, and this is what leads her to sacrifice herself in Water 7. Now, her sacrifice gets compared to Sanji's sacrifice a lot, and these two moments are very different. When it comes to Sanji and his sacrifice, the motivation behind it was to protect those he cared about, as the Straw Hats and Zeph were threatened. Sanji did it so that those he loved could continue to live, but when it comes to Robin, this wasn't the case. The reason for her sacrifice wasn't truly about her protecting the crew, but it was about her believing that she didn't deserve the crew, that she didn't deserve to be loved, that she didn't deserve to live, as she is a demon child, someone cursed for eternity to never have those things, someone without value. Sacrificing herself was the only option for her, but the crew wasn't going to accept that. Their failure to stop CP9 during Water 7 wasn't going to demoralize them. Instead, they rose up once again and followed Robin all the way to Enies lobby, where Robin finally gets her character moment, and also my favorite moment in this whole entire series. One thing about the Straw Hats is that you can always count on them to have your back, but the mission wasn't just as easy as saving Robin. Luffy understood that there is no point in saving someone who doesn't want to save themselves, and Luffy gave her an ultimatum that she must declare that she wants to live and be saved, or else it would be pointless to save her, as she would still hold on to the same belief that she is worthless and undeserving of love. And so, after all the trouble to get to Enies lobby and give Robin her chance to finally speak out on her true feelings, she gives us the best moment in One Piece. She finally says that she wants to live.
生きたい。私も一緒に海へ連れてって。
Now, what makes this moment more impactful is that Luffy declares war on the world government for trying to take Robin away from her nakama. And let's be honest, this crew is not just a crew of friends, they are a family. And the world government need to learn to never mess with Luffy's family. Throughout Enies lobby, they have to fight their way to Robin before she's taken away from them forever. They eventually win after a long hard battle, and Robin rejoins the crew as a full-fledged nakama. But her character growth doesn't just stop there, and this is why I say she's the best written one so far. Oda has made sure that even after Robin accepts herself and those around her, that she still has more room to grow. Throughout the journey with the crew, she grows closer and closer to them. Way too close if you ask me, as she even takes their weird goofy personality. But she also gains more understanding of her new family. She has given us so many moments of just being herself ever since Enies lobby. For example, the Ryunosuke moment in Zou. Before Enies lobby, no one would have ever thought that Robin would ever be a character like this. From the cold-hearted Robin to the Robin who is now used as comic relief at times. This is huge development. Personally, I feel like she has been showing herself a bit more even in Wano. The influence the crew has had was shown brilliantly in this arc. Even her showing up against Black Maria and accepting what she is seen as, embracing that for the sake of the crew. The return of Jaguar in the story also creates another opportunity for this character to grow. See, I understand how some people feel about this and how Oda never kills important characters or whatever, but this actually makes sense. Every crew has a home to go back to after the crew separates. Sanji goes back to Zeph, Usopp goes back to Syrup Village, Frankie to Water 7, and so on, but Robin had no place to return to, and I think having Jaguar return gives Robin that opportunity, and I can't wait to see what Oda does with Robin going forward in the story. But even though there are multiple positive things to say about Robin, there is one thing that leaves me disappointed at times, and that's the number of battles or even character growth moments post time skip. Besides Wano, Robin was a pretty stagnant character for the majority of post time skip, and this is something that has happened for some other Straw Hats such as Brook and Usopp. Dressrosa is an arc that I really enjoyed, but it also left a sour taste in my mouth when it came to Robin. Not only was she used to give Usopp a character moment, but she was also sidelined so that Kiros could take out Diamante. Robin surely could have beaten Diamante without being made look completely useless against him. It doesn't didn't really make much sense because in Wano she could beat Black Maria with a pretty cool move. Where was all this power and passion and also aggression in Dressrosa? Oda, you really gotta be a little bit more consistent with some of these characters. To make things worse, she wasn't a part of the crew that went to Whole Cake Island. See, she went to Wano with the others, so we missed a lot of Robin during post time skip. But Wano did sort of make things up, and I think that the current arc will also give us decent moments for Robin, not to mention the potential of Elbaf and meeting Jaguar as well. I am excited to see what happens with Robin from here on out. Now, if you have a different character in mind who you believe is the best written character in One Piece, drop your take in the comment section and let's have a discussion. And if there is a character that you would like me to speak about, it doesn't have to be a One Piece character, then please drop your recommendation in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video. May you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.